Welcome, folks, to Wisdom and Wit. I'm Jimmy, and I'm just here to warm you up for the real deal. Now, let me tell you, I've seen some crazy stuff in my day, but this news about a guy getting beat up over a Trump hat, that's when things got weird. You know, I was in the supermarket the other day, minding my own business, trying to decide between regular and extra chunky peanut butter. And let me tell you, that's a decision that can really divide a nation. Kind of like our politics, am I right? So there I am, staring at these jars when I noticed this fellow wearing a MAGA hat. Now I'm thinking, that's a bold fashion choice for the produce section. But hey, to each their own, right? I mean, I once wore a shirt that said I'm with stupid to a family reunion. Yeah, I went there. And I'm going even further. But then, out of nowhere, this other guy comes charging down the aisle like a bull who just found out his wife's been seeing the local rodeo clown. And let me tell you, things escalated faster than my cholesterol after a trip to the state fair. Now, I'm not one to judge, but when you're throwing punches over a hat, you might want to reassess your life choices. I mean, the only time I've ever wanted to punch someone in a supermarket was when they took the last box of Twinkies. And even then, I just passive-aggressively muttered under my breath like a true American. But seriously, folks, what's the world coming to when we can't even buy our processed cheese in peace? I remember a time when the only tension in a supermarket was whether the cashier would judge you for buying 3 tubs of ice cream and a family-size pack of Oreos. Those were simpler times. And don't even get me started on this Nick Bosa situation. A football player shows off a MAGA hat, and suddenly everyone loses their minds. It's like they've never seen a grown man wearing a hat before. I mean, have they seen what those guys wear on the field? Those tight pants leave little to the imagination, if you know what I mean. But here's the kicker. Some politician wants to trade Bosa because of a hat. A hat. I haven't seen someone so upset over headwear since my wife caught me wearing her favorite sun hat to mow the lawn. And let me tell you, that's when things got really weird. Now, I'm not saying we should all start wearing MAGA hats. Lord knows, with my receding hairline, I need all the coverage I can get. But maybe, just maybe, we could all take a deep breath and remember that at the end of the day, it's just a hat. It's not like it's a mind control device. Or is it? And that, my friends, is when things got even weirder. But you know what? I think it's time we bring in someone who knows a thing or two about hats, controversy, and making supermarkets great again. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the man, the myth, the legend, Donald.
Thanks, Jimmy. Great to have you here. You know, I heard the Secret Service had some issues lately. Kinda like my ex-wife's aim in the bedroom, always missing the mark. Yeah, I said it. Sui me. So let's talk about the Secret Service mess. Apparently, they had a mission assurance inquiry. Sounds fancy, right? Like something you'd order at a hipster coffee shop. But seriously, folks, the Secret Service dropped the ball harder than a liberal trying to understand basic economics. They had communication deficiencies. You know, like when you're trying to explain to your girlfriend why you were out late and suddenly you forget how to speak English. And get this, some agents had an unclear understanding of their duties. Yeah, because protecting the president is such a vague job description. What did they think they were there for? To critique Trump's spray tan technique? I mean, come on. These are the guys responsible for keeping our leaders safe, and they're acting like they just showed up for a surprise pop quiz. Oh, was I supposed to stop the assassin? But hey, at least they're honest. The report actually says July 13, 2024 was a failure for the Secret Service. No shit, Sherlock. What gave it away? The fact that someone almost capped the former president, or that they couldn't organize a piss-up in a brewery. And now they're talking about corrective counseling. Like what? Okay, agents, repeat after me. See bad guy with gun. Stop bad guy with gun. Don't let bad guy shoot president. But don't worry, folks. They're making changes. Big changes. They're gonna give Trump the highest level of protection. Because apparently, before this, they were just winging it. He's just a former president. They're also expanding the use of unmanned aerial systems. In other words, they're gonna have drones following Trump around. Because nothing says secure like a flying robot with a camera. I'm sure that won't backfire at all when Trump's trying to have a private moment with a porn star. And get this, they're improving radio communications. What were they using before? Jenkins and string? Smoke signals. Maybe they were trying to send messages via interpretive dance, and that's why no one knew what the hell was going on. But my favorite part is that they're enhancing security measures at campaign sites. Oh, really? You mean like actually checking for armed psychos on nearby rooftops? Novel concept. What's next? Making sure the doors are locked. You know, it's almost like they forgot they were dealing with Trump. The man's been stirring up more drama than a Real Housewives reunion since 2015. You'd think they'd be a little more on their toes. But no, they were caught with their pants down. And not in the fun way like at a Clinton Foundation fundraiser. Yeah, I said it. Sui me. And now they're committed to implementing viable recommendations, as opposed to what? The non-viable ones. But hey, at least they're trying to restore trust with the public in Congress. Good luck with that. It's gonna take more than a PowerPoint presentation and a few team-building exercises to fix this clusterfuck. I mean, seriously, how do you even begin to apologize for this? Sorry, we almost got the former president killed. Our bad. We promise to do better next time. There shouldn't be a next time, you morons. But you know what the real kicker is? This whole mess is probably going to cost us taxpayers a fortune. Because nothing says fiscal responsibility like throwing money at a problem until it goes away. It's the American way. So buckle up, folks. We're in for a wild ride. Between the Secret Service playing catch-up and Trump probably tweeting about how he could have taken the shooter down himself, it's going to be a circus. And not the fun kind with clowns and elephants. Although, come to think of it, there might be a few clowns involved. But hey, that's enough about the Secret Service this epic fail. Let's move on to something a little less depressing, like the economy under Biden. Or my sex life. Speaking of which, we've got a real treat coming up next. She's hotter than a MAGA rally in July and twice as likely to make you stand at attention. Give it up for the one, the only Dixie.
Well, thank you kindly for that introduction, Donald. I haven't felt this welcome since I accidentally wandered into a Planned Parenthood wearing my Make America Great Again bikini. Now let's dive into this political circus faster than AOC backpedaling on her Green New Deal. Oh no, this election's been wilder than a squirrel in a meth lab. We've had more unexpected twists than Nancy Pelosi's face after her latest Botox session. First off, we had that assassination attempt on Trump and Butler. Talk about a shot heard round the world, or at least round the golf course. There Trump was, bleeding and pumping his fists like he just scored a hole-in-one on Hillary's email server. His supporters were cheering louder than a Southern Baptist congregation when the pastor says free chicken dinner. Even some Democrats were like, all right, maybe we should tone down the Hitler comparisons. I mean, Hitler never took a bullet and kept on trucking. Although, to be fair, neither did Trump. It just grazed his hair. But honey, with that dude who could tell the difference. Then we had Biden dropping out faster than Kamala's approval ratings. Talk about timing. He waited so long, I thought he was using Internet Explorer to send his resignation. Poor Kamala was left holding the bag like it was a hot potato at a vegan potluck. And let me tell you, when Kamala started doing interviews, it was more painful to watch than my Uncle Cletus trying to explain critical race theory. She was flip-flopping more than a catfish on a hot sidewalk. When Lester Holt asked her about her changing values, she said, "My values haven't changed. Honey, if your values haven't changed, then neither has the situation at the border. It's still a hot mess." Speaking of hot messes, let's talk about that debate in Springfield, Ohio. Trump made some comment about pets and migrants that had people crying racism faster than you can say build the wall. But here's the kicker. It actually got people talking about the real issue, the migrant asylum program. It's been managed about as well as a drunk sorority girl managing her Tinder matches. And then we had the Teamsters giving Kamala the cold shoulder. But you know what? This whole election has been like a bad reality TV show. We've got plot twist character assassinations and more drama than a Real Housewives reunion. The only difference is, instead of throwing wine, they're throwing accusations. And instead of getting Botox, they're getting votes. In the end, no matter who wins, we're all losers. Because let's face it, folks, in this political circus, we're not the ringmasters, we're the clowns. And on that note, I'll leave you with this. If voting changed anything, they'd make it illegal. So remember to exercise your right to complain. I mean, vote, and may the odds be ever in your favor. Good night, y'all.